Hey, you guys, ladies starting the 21-day fix. So, one of the most important things I like for people to know when they are starting this program is you do not have to be perfect. So, I wanted to share a few things. I was talking with my mom last night who has successfully lost 30 pounds about 5 times. So, she does a program, she loses the weight, she's looking and feeling awesome, and her old habits come back, and she starts skipping workouts, and she gets off the bandwagon for weeks and months at a time, and she beats herself up, and it becomes a cycle. So the difference between what she does and what I've learned to do are a few things. First, don't try to make too many changes at once and be perfect with your eating where you're going to go the opposite direction eventually. So give yourself some wiggle room. It is okay to have an extra container here and there. It's not, I have had times where I've had 6 extra yellow containers, and that is okay. When I did the 21-day fix, I was not perfect with it. I was probably 80 to 90% following the containers and did really well. But that left me the room where when I wasn't perfect, it was still okay and I still saw good results. So my mom tries to make too many changes at once and be super perfect with her eating when she has struggled with her eating her entire life. The second thing she does is she keeps food in her house that sabotages her. So if I find myself not able to stay out of a certain chip bag or cookie box or whatever it is, I will either give them to my kids and have them finish them, send them where my husband used to work outside the home. I would send the cookies to work with him. I would not bring leftovers home from our family barbecues. Um, if you're going to have like a treat or a cheat meal or whatever, have your meal and be done. Get rid of the source. So my mom always has junk food in her house, and I love her dearly, but she's sabotaging herself. I said, if I lived in your house, I would be 500 pounds because she keeps food in her house that she can't say no to, or she can for 4 or 5 days and then she gives in. So the food's basically sitting there waiting for her to give in into it, and that's not fair for her, and it's not fair for her to beat herself up for that because that's human nature. Anybody would give into that food eventually. So keep healthy food in your house and keep the food that is tempting and killing you not in your house on a regular basis. Is it okay to go buy a thing of ice cream and have a little thing of ice cream once every couple weeks or once a week? Sure, that's fine, but don't keep it in there to stare at your face every time you look in the freezer. So that's my second piece of advice that my mom has struggled with that I would say to not do. And the third is if you do have a day that you just blow it and you eat way more containers than you're planning on and you didn't stick with it, the key is to get back on track as soon as possible. So to not let that turn into 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 days of eating junk food, the key is to get back on track as fast as you can, not even waste the time to be mad at yourself for eating extra containers or eating chocolate, whatever it is. But the key is to get back on track right away because one bad day of eating is not going to ruin your results. What ruins your results is when it's one bad day and then you have like 2 good days and then one more bad day and then one good day and then 2 more bad days. That's what's going to ruin your results, not one time. So if you're having a hard time, reach out in the group. This group is for you to be able to share and be honest and say, this is what I'm struggling with. Do you have any advice? Um, this group is a safe place for you to share those things and for me to be able to help you and for the group to be able to help support you. So don't be afraid to reach out. So those are a couple things I like to talk about at the beginning of the 21-day fix. Not being perfect with your containers, not beating yourself up if you're not perfect, doing the best you can, trying to prepare some foods a little bit ahead of time so that when you go to get your lunch, you have healthy foods that are available in your fridge instead of, oh my gosh, what am I going to make? And you're so hungry that you reach for the crackers because you don't have anything prepared that's healthy. So do a little bit of meal prep and be prepared that this is going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6 days before you kind of feel in the hang of what you like to eat, when you like to eat it, what containers you like to have saved for dinner, etc. So I'm so excited for you guys to start this group. Please feel free to reach out with any questions you have. I'm going to be in the group at least once or twice a day, answering questions, catching up, and doing a post for you to respond to. So I hope everybody has an awesome day, and let's get started.